You ever played a video games?
No, I think I'm gonna give it up, dude. Okay,
It's fucking Christmas, bro.
it is Christmas.
It's
Before we get
Christmas Day, and we're fully erect.
that is going to be a perfect segue into something we're doing. Before we even introduce, should we introduce? Anyway,
I
that's
think
gonna make
so,
sense
yeah.
with your present
Whoa.
being erect.
Okay.
So why don't we jump into it?
Jesus
So
Christ. 3D printed flashlight. Here we go.
welcome back to 321 Backlog, the video game podcast where we play and talk about games from our backlog. My name is Alec, and I'm joined by my good old pal James. James, Merry Christmas, Happy Christmas.
Happy
Good morning.
Hanukkah for some people, maybe.
Yeah,
All the other ones.
Happy Chanukah. Was that
How you
offensive?
doing today, dude? You feeling in the spirit?
I am feeling great.
Do you have plaid pajamas on?
Oh, I don't. Damn it.
Ah, you fucking blew it, dude. Neither do I.
All right. I mean, I don't have any pants on.
I have Chad pajamas on. They're just
I'm wearing what Santa's wearing in that box that's next to you.
okay.
So before we get into any video game stuff, we're going to do some Christmassy things. We are going to do a gift exchange, which is really, really good content for an audio only podcast. So we're gonna have to stretch our descriptive muscles while we have a quick little gift exchange. So who wants to go first?
I feel pretty confident that whatever is in this box here is gonna be better. So
Yeah?
you should open your present first.
All right, so let's see what we got here. I have a white box. There is some crinkly paper.
My cat was very upset with me.
Ooh. Placed is PS4 because I really need one of these.
That is a PS. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I sent you a PS1 controller.
I got a PS1 controller to be used on my PS4. Oh, this is so good because I really needed this. This is perfect because of what I got you. And then I also saw the little 400 gig. That's
Yeah,
insane.
boy.
That's insane.
It is insane. They go up to a terabyte now, but I that was
Dude,
since
okay,
I
so
upgraded I had multiple. It's a 400 gigabyte SD card for
Yes,
anybody that
yes.
wants to fucking know.
Micro XD
Micro SD.
SanDisk Extreme.
Yeah. So when I upgraded my Steam Deck's internal hard drive, I used to have multiple micro SDs. So that was yeah, it might even have some games on it, dude.
Yeah. Oh, dude, they didn't use USB-C. That's wild.
Well, it's I don't know when the
know.
PS4 came out, but
Yeah, I know.
you
I
can
was-
convert it. I'm sure you can spend a lot of money and swap it out.
No, that's awesome. No, this is perfect. One, because I need one, and two, something similar is in your box. A little more jokey.
Okay.
So go ahead and open yours. Thank you.
All right,
By the way,
I'm
That was-
opening
that
it
was
up.
Very nice.
You're welcome, man. I somehow managed to not cut all the way through the tape. There's like a little
Nice.
pop it. Okay. Wow, this is some ridiculous wrapping paper. Man, you are such a what a nice guy. So all this is actually wrapped. I've got a overweight naked Santa with a small penis and huge balls. That's my opinion. Do I? Okay, so I'm going to set that aside because this is a wrapped
Yes.
present. And I must say, you're pretty good at wrapping paper.
I'm so good at it.
You are good at it. You know that? Like you're
No.
confidently.
If
Oh,
I
dude,
if
I
I
don't
watch
know.
like a tutorial or something, I can figure it out.
And it says 3, 2, 1 Christmas. What are you saying?
Yeah.
If you watch a tutorial, you can figure out how to wrap a fucking present. Okay.
No, like you know how you're supposed to there are measurements, so you like tilt the box and then make a mark there and do,
Oh, I don't get
and-
into all that.
Yeah, like
I'm
like
not-
that.
Yeah,
I kind of
but
just eyeball it and
I'd
make a
say
flat
these-
edge and
these corners
Here
are
we go.
crisp.
yeah.
and I think I could learn from you.
All right.
I sometimes purposely wrap things poorly because I think it's funny. I know what this is. This
Yeah.
is a oh wow, it's just Panzer Works. This is cool. I like this a lot. So this is a ashtray. This is a this is what am I? No, I'm kidding. So this I know is a it you clip it on the back of the Steam Deck. Got one right here,
Yeah.
and it holds the. We both have this battery.
Upside
Gotta
down.
flip that. Oh yeah, and it has air. It has vents for the heat. But yeah, so you clip it on there, and then you can slip the. I don't want to do it right now, but then you slip the. We have battery packs to make our Steam Decks last longer, and
That's
who
right.
doesn't want things to last longer? You got okay, man. You're good at packing stuff too.
Thanks, man.
Okay,
That
Logitech.
one. So that one, I'll just jump in. That was a throwaway. I bought
Oh,
I bought myself because we both have the same webcam. I bought myself a
oh, dude, I
cover
like that.
for
Oh,
it, so
that's so
like a
awesome.
privacy cover. But I just threw it in. I just put two in the cart. So
Oh, I like that.
it basically like rests. I think it
Oh
clips
yeah,
on, but
yeah,
it
I can
rests on the
see it.
top. Yeah, and then you just you have a little privacy cover. So when
That's
you're
good because I do get a little paranoid about that. It's just
yeah when you're
randomly,
on the elliptical like naked or something, you're
which
covered.
it's funny because I do that very close to naked because I do it when I get up in the morning. So that's actually awesome. I didn't know this was an option. Fuck you, Logitech, for not making a cover for your cameras just straight out the gate.
Yeah, yeah,
Come on, that's
yeah.
ridiculous.
It's pretty sad.
You know what, too?
What?
Let me just say this might be a pretty cool product. I'm gonna just place it over it for a second. So to know how the camera's on, it has white lighting on the sides of it, and this distinctively doesn't cover the white lighting. So you can still see if the camera's on, even if it's covered. Do you see how there's like white lights on the sides of the glass part of the camera? It's
Mine are
lit up.
blue. Mine are blue.
Well, I don't know. Well, either, dude, I don't know. Mine's white.
I think. Did you get the one with lights? Because I think it had one that had lights.
It doesn't, mine doesn't have like projective lights. Like, no, it's
Oh,
not
all right.
helping out with, but either way, what I don't know, maybe mine is a different, like mine says HD 1080p Logi. What does yours say?
Same.
Okay, I don't know, man. Maybe
All
they
right.
just, I don't know. I don't think mine's RGB. If it is, maybe I just need to change it. But it is cool because you can still see the lights lit up if it's on. So,
Yeah.
okay, I'm being annoying. Okay, let me
No, no,
set this.
that's cool.
Yeah, no, it is cool. I like that shit. Okay, sorry. Let me set that aside. Let's
And
open up the.
then this is what started the whole thing.
Okay.
That's just something for you to just have on display for it to fit your personality.
Hopefully, it's not involving what the wrapping paper is.
Let's get some audible ripping of wrapping paper.
Oh, I'm trying not to rip it.
Crisp is just fucking that up. It's not coming through at
Oh,
all.
this is. Oh, wow, dude. Wow. My dogs think it's a treat. Oh my god. So I have a candle lit to set the mood in here, and I almost just put the wrapping paper on top of it, dude. We'd have a 3-2-1 backlog fire, dude. Do you have a
3, 2, 1
fire extinguisher?
Yes.
Good. So do I, allegedly. I like this shit, dude. I'm gonna use this. This is going straight up. So
You know,
Alec he sent me a it's a controller that looks like I guess a cat or a panda bear. It's pink. It's for Nintendo Switch. This is the most Chinese looking thing I've ever seen in my life. Like it's not even in English. My Tricks Technology LLC.
yep.
There's a customer service number. I bet that's gonna call that later. I'm sure. But no, it's cool because I have a lot of controllers. Alec knows this. Everybody knows this, and I will be playing my next game using this, and that's a fucking fact.
We've been talking about maybe recording some visual stuff, having a nice backdrop and everything. So when you reorganize your space, you can have a nice, beautiful controller.
Did you know that it comes with
I
thumb
did.
pads?
I did.
That's cute, dude. Did you know that it has Pro Controller buttons on it? Like
Does
on
it
the
really?
back? Yeah. Dude, this
It
is
looks so
not
tiny.
ergonomic at all, man. Oh my god.
It looks so small.
It's tiny, dude, but I don't really have This is great, dude. It's USB-C too, and it has a fucking headphone jack on it. It came with a
Oh,
USB-C cable. Zero
oh
chance of this
God.
starting a fire. This actually is heavier than I thought it would be. You know, usually cables feel really cheap.
Yeah.
Dude, I love this, man. Sorry, I only got. Sorry, you only got a PlayStation 4 controller.
So yeah, it was either going to be that controller or like a Fisher Price one.
This is
Just to
better
put,
because this is
yeah,
useful,
you
and
could
I
actually
have a
use it.
game picked out for. We'll talk about it, but I do have a game picked out later on that I'm gonna use this for, and we're gonna just.
It's so
You
good.
hear that?
Heck yeah, dude.
Clacking and cracking, bro.
So a couple of them came through.
Okay, well that's.
Uh,
I love that, dude.
so
Man, these triggers feel good, dude. I can see them bending. Like when I can see there's like the trigger pull, and then there's the bend of the plastic
oh my
afterwards.
god, that's how you go extra fast.
It's USB-C. Let's get it charged. Let's get it on the charger.
Yeah,
That way,
let's
if
see if you
it's
plug it in. Does anything light up?
yeah, the little you maybe you can't see it. There you go.
Oh, okay. Oh, the ears light up, so you have little
Oh
ears,
shit. Do they?
and they look lit up on my screen.
I don't. Yeah, I guess they do. It fades in and out. That's why when I looked at it,
Um,
they had faded out, and I was like, "You're lying to me." Man, this is great. And the lights on the best part, in my opinion, is that the light is just showing through all the cracks in the casing and the molding. This is good, dude.
so good.
Gonna plug that sucker in later. I wonder if
Oh, I
it's
love
Steam
it.
Deck compatible.
I mean, I hope so. It probably like sends your information to like a hidden server somewhere. So
To Matrix
yep.
LLC. Nintendo Switch Pro. It's good shit, dude. 300 milliamp hour battery. I feel like that's insanely small.
We'll have to find out.
Does that sound small to you, ladies? All right. Are we talking,
Oh
dude? Thank you. Merry
no,
Christmas.
hold on. So no, the
Oh,
gift exchange isn't over, or the gift isn't over. So
uh-oh.
I
Is it
that
gonna
was
explode?
that was my joke gift.
Oh,
So my real one is more of just a it's a podcast thing. So it's a podcast gift. I feel like over the last like from like early October, actually all of October to this game, I kind of like took over on the episodes. So I want to give you like the first 5 episodes in 2024. They're yours.
you're gonna regret this, boy.
So, we're going to play Ori 1 through 5, I'm sure.
Hollow Knight, Ori, some JRPG shit you're gonna hate.
So, you get the whole first part of the year.
Well, thank you. That's
Yeah,
lovely.
man. So it's going to be the month or probably month or two of James in 2024. It's
Get
it's on
ready
your
for
picks.
some. Get ready for me rambling and Alec just sitting there nodding. God of War 2.0, Death Stranding 0.5.
Yes.
Merry Christmas, dude.
Merry Christmas, man.
Feels like Christmas in here.
All right, so we got to get back into it. So let's see here. Let me bring up my OneNote. Oh, goodness gravy. Goodness gravy? Why not?
Oh,
All right,
yeah.
so what game are we talking about today? We're talking about one that I so far, this has been my favorite game we have played for the podcast. Full stop. It has been fantastic.
I'm just trying to think back if I believe you or not. Death Stranding?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Stray?
Yeah.
God of fucking War?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
So we played Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales. Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales is a 2020 action-adventure game developed by Insomniac Games and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. Based on Marvel Comics character Miles Morales, it is inspired by both the character's decade-long comic book mythology and appearances in other media. The game is a spin-off and continuation of Marvel's Spider-Man 2018 and the second installment in Insomniac's Spider-Man series. The narrative focuses on Miles' struggles to balance his duties of his civilian persona and his role as the second Spider-Man when his new home, Harlem, is threatened by war between Roxxon Energy Corporation and a high-tech criminal army called the Underground, led by the mysterious Tinkerer. That's what Wikipedia says.
That's exactly how I would describe it. That's exactly how I would describe it too. In it, just exactly as many words.
Thank you, Wikipedia. If you haven't already, donate. Remember those ads that would be all over Wikipedia when they were like running out of funding?
Do you donate?
You can
Do you donate?
all the time.
I did once.
Did you?
Yeah, I was feeling wealthy.
Awesome. That's really nice of you, dude.
Thanks, man. It wasn't much. It really wasn't much. You got to keep it going, man. It's only there's no ads on it. So that's how it stays up, right?
Yeah, dude.
That's how it stays up, Playboy.
All right, so we've been taking the notes on the sidelines. We're trying to get really structured. So let's go through all of our stuff. Let's see here.
I just there's spoiler pictures in there, but just so you don't reveal them or whatever, they are
Yeah.
related to the game. I am trying to get more back into screenshotting images for the game when I play it, just for
Nice.
like points to discuss because it can be really difficult to find the specific thing you're trying to show.
Yeah. I need to
One-
probably learn how to do that on the Steam Deck. Can you do that on the Steam
Steam
Deck?
button, right bumper, hold Steam, hit right bumper.
Gotcha.
Also, Steam button X is to bring up the keyboard.
Yes. So yeah, this was released in November of 2020, and then it came out on PC, which is how you and I both played it.
Yep.
In 2022, Sony. It was originally for PS4, but it's come over on PS5 and PC, and has been very well scored. I think across the board is pretty safe to say.
Yeah, IGN was a 9 out of 10. Metacritic got a score of 85, which is out of 100. But then the craziest thing, Metacritic users must be assholes. They give it a 6.3, which I think is really low.
That's surprising.
Yeah, that's like I think that's a borderline a failing grade, and
Do they ever give like justification?
Yeah, there was like one person that was like Spider-Man game boring character dialogue sucked. I didn't read too much into it, but I have my own opinions, so I don't really care too much what a honky tonk 996's opinion was.
And I think it also won a BAFTA and a couple other.
Yeah, it did get a lot of awards. I don't really know, so like I don't really know a lot about awards in general, so it's kind of hard for me to like. I remember there was one episode where we discussed what a BAFTA award was, but I don't remember.
Yeah. So I think it's been nominated for a ton of awards. It has won a handful. Looks like mostly animation based, character based. The music, which oh my god,
The music,
was so good.
we will talk
That
about
won a
that,
bunch.
but
So
it was good.
looks like it was mostly a bunch of nominations, but it did poke through a little bit and get some wins. So
Yeah.
but yeah, it was very well received, and I am one of those. I think it was amazing.
You would give it an award? I would.
I would. I think the music is the first thing that stood out to me as being just so good. And
Dude, I'm trying to figure out how to pair this controller because I can't get it to pair on my Steam Deck, and there's zero English in the instructions booklet at all. Because I thought I could just pair it using what I thought, but it is not what you would think.
So in my defense in that, I definitely got it for the sole intention of just sitting on your shelf behind you.
Oh, yeah.
Because I thought it would just be a hilarious backdrop.
It says to push the sync button, and it's not even there.
It's just a button of like a kitchen sink.
This is insanity. I'm sorry. Okay, so yeah, all right, we gotta focus, dude. I'm sorry, bro. It's Christmas time. I'm drinking too much eggnog here.
So let's first off let's talk about our history with
Yeah.
the history with the game or the franchise. I've said this multiple times. I'm a Marvel kid for like movies and stuff. So I've seen all the Spider-Man iterations in the MCU and Tobey Maguire's and all that good stuff. As far as video games, the only other Spider-Man game I had ever played was the 2002 Spider-Man on PS2.
I want to say I did too. I played that one as well, but I want to say maybe I played more than one of them because I think there was like a Spider-Man 1 and 2.
Hmm.
I don't remember really much about it except for two things, and they are as followed. I remember there was one episode that was very stealth based where you snuck into an office and you could be extremely stealthy, and like there was like the part where you would like web down and then just like creep down and you could like do stealth takedowns or whatever. I liked that episode or that mission. And then I remember you could change out character models. So you could play as just the character model you could change after you beat the game. And then at the end, you could make Mary Jane kiss Mary Jane if you wanted to. That's just a thing. That's just a little anecdote for you, dude.
Wow. Quick aside. Is your dog mutilating a toy next to you?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't even hear it. Like, you know what I mean? It's not even something that Nova. Hey, come here, lay down. She's like looking at me like you've never stopped me from doing this before.
It usually doesn't come through, but for whatever reason, it was coming through today.
Going in on it this time. She was like, no, she's gonna. What do I do? Put her down?
It's fine. We can just introduce our third co-host, Nova.
God,
She's gorgeous. She's amazing.
she's an idiot.
What is she? Is she a mutt? Is she a Weimaraner? What's the deal?
She's a pit bull. She's like a full blown like blue eyed pit bull dog.
Oh, I was thinking of what was Busco?
Busco, I think, is like American bulldog, maybe Labrador mix, maybe pit bull. He's a sleepy dog.
Either you or your parents had a like a very chocolatey looking dog that had very
Peas.
floppy ears.
That was
Peas. I'm thinking of peas.
He was a German short haired pointer.
Okay. Yeah. I think I've met your dogs like twice, your current ones.
Oh yeah, they're out there. She did stop. She just looks confused.
It's okay. The audience can deal with it. Pets are part of our
Charm.
family.
That's a part of our charm.
No, but back to the PS2 fight. The one I don't remember anything about that game except the frustration I had and where I stopped playing was the shocker fight inside the subway, where you're like
That
trying to
sounds
get up.
familiar.
Yeah, you're trying to get up to the shocker and you're in the subway and you have to like keep webbing closer and he would like throw a bunch of electricity down or like a shockwave or something. I don't think I ever finished it and got to him, and that's where I stopped. And I don't think it was very
I don't
far into the game.
remember that guy at all. Like I'm looking at him right now, and I don't remember. I feel like he just isn't. He's clearly not a very memorable character. He looks like a fucking mattress.
I mean, the graphics for those were abysmal. Looking at them now.
I could still play it, dude. It's within a tolerable amount.
And then the other thing I remember about the old Spider-Man on PS2 was when you would do your web traveling, your web slinging, you would web into just open air.
Yeah,
And
which
it would
was
just,
janky. I hated that, but I really like that in this game you actually snap onto things, and then if there's nothing there,
if there's nothing above you're not doing it. So I really liked it. So this was my backlog. The reason I picked it, it was not on my backlog initially. It was I knew that our episode was going to be releasing on Christmas, so I went and just Googled Christmas games ? And this one came up.
well, so Miles Morales was not on my backlog, but the first release of Spider-Man on PC, whatever, like the PS4 game remastered, I guess it's called. That was on my backlog, but I didn't own it. It was just like I call it like my wish list backlog.
Yeah.
I've grown to be a little more mature and I don't buy every single game as soon as it's on sale, but it was definitely one that I will buy it eventually. It just was on sale right after we finished this.
Yeah, and a little insight into how much I enjoyed playing Miles Morales. I did 100% complete. I didn't platinum as far as like achievements, but on like regular game story and collectibles in the game and all that, I 100% of the game, and then I immediately went and bought, because on Epic it was on sale. I bought the remastered Spider-Man, and I have finished the campaign already.
And you are currently going to buy a PlayStation 5 to
I
play the next
dude,
one.
I am so close
I
to getting a
know.
PS5. I want to play it so bad. So
If
bad.
Yeah, if I find a PS5 in the trash, I'll be buying that game for sure.
Heck yeah. So I should cool off and maybe, you know, stop
January
buying
is going to
stuff.
be a rough month for you, dude.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that was kind of the what brought this to it. Was I didn't know this was a game at all.
Yeah.
I've said it so many times. I've been kind of like out of the rotation of like PlayStation exclusives
Yep.
and having PlayStation games at the front of mind. So I didn't know about it. I was really a Google search to just find something that was holiday appropriate, and this one was in the realm of that. So that's kind of how we got here.
I like that it seems like Sony is dipping into PC pretty heavy. They've noticed that when they release games on PC and they're ported well, they do well, they sell well,
Yeah.
and it seems like they're going to go forward doing that a lot more in the future. So I'm excited for that. I'm sure the Spider-Man 2 will be on
Yeah.
PC eventually.
I mean, it took 2 years for Miles Morales to come over.
That's not
So
that bad, really,
yeah,
I think.
I mean, it's not, but like knowing that I want to play it now, I wish it was like 6 months. Just
Yeah,
port it now.
yeah. Well, they have to have a reason to own a PlayStation, you know. It's really the best I don't know. I was gonna say it's the best console, but I think Nintendo also is pretty they're very exclusive unless you're
Yeah.
a dirty rotten thief.
I don't know. I feel like, and I understand why you have exclusivity and all that, but
It's annoying.
I feel like every home, the chance of having a computer is much higher than having a console. That's in my experience. I don't know if that's accurate,
Right.
but in your and my households, we both have computers, but we also have our other stuff. But I've gone through multiple generations of consoles, but I've kept the PC and skipped
Yeah.
whole console generations. So
Well, I think that part of it for their perspective is if you sell a console, they're gonna also you're gonna sell their live service, which is like 15 a month from everybody that owns the console, which is
yeah,
a lot of money for them for something that doesn't really take much upkeep. Then you've got accessories. You can't charge a PlayStation 5 controller with just like a regular USB cord. You have to like plug it into a PlayStation 5, or lucky for me, my Steam Deck charger will charge a PlayStation 5 controller.
oh,
But like
nice,
nothing else that I have found actually works to do that. You can use it, but that's annoying. But that's a very like console specific thing, you know. And
yeah,
then there's like the headphones, the headsets, the exclusive games,
yeah.
you know. And then also like controllers they fail eventually. Things fail on them, as you may have noticed. So then that's another way for them to make profit off of people for loyalty. Love that.
Oh yeah, I totally get it.
You played it on Steam Deck?
Yes, I was fortunate enough to play it on Steam Deck exclusively on the deck, handheld mode the whole time, and I I'm
Okay.
sure if I was like on a 1080p or a 4K television, I would have just, I was gonna make like an ejaculation joke. I'm sure I would have like just been in absolute awe
By not
of what
making the ejaculation joke, you made the ejaculation joke.
I'll cut it out. But
No, it's
if
fine.
I no, if I was if I was playing on like a 1080p and up TV, I'm sure it
Yep.
would have looked just unbelievable. But I was absolutely blown away by what I was seeing on the Steam Deck. It was so good. It was responsive. It was fluid. The Steam Deck. I feel like we're like just a constant advertisement for the Steam Deck.
It's a good
The
dude. We're in our mid 30s, and it's a device that allows us to play games literally fucking anywhere.
Yeah,
So
the onboard speakers for the deck sounded amazing. I mean,
mine
holy
are a little
shit.
quiet. actually,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, I don't know why,
It
but
mine
yeah,
gets
my
mine gets
hearing
pretty
sucks.
pretty
So
that's true. I I will say the deck got hot enough for like if I flipped it over, I probably could have cooked an egg on the back of it. It was so hot playing this game, so it's an intense game graphically.
right.
But this thing just knocked it out the fucking park.
That's good to hear because it's not that old of a game.
Right, right. It also had something that I think you turned off, but I didn't know it was something you could turn off. It had that dynamic movement.
Oh yeah, like gyro controls or something.
Yeah.
I hate that.
It was
Cool thing, I'll tell you though. Go on.
it was interesting. I left it on 'cause if I kept my hand still, it didn't really come into play. But it was kind of cool when I would be like surveying a underground camp or a Roxxon facility or whatever. I could move the screen around without having to do my controllers and zoom in on stuff. So I liked it. I just liked it was a feature that I would assume is specific to some of these consoles. I don't know if that would have been on the PS4 or the PS5. So I would like what's going on over there?
I look down and there's now 3 toys on the floor. She just went and got more, dude.
Nothing has been coming through since we called it out.
Okay, all right. So you
So
say.
yeah. No, do we know if that what is it called?
Gyro is generally, yeah,
Yeah.
gyroscopic controlling. One thing that's kind of cool is I played some on the deck, and I'd say 50-50, really. Maybe a little more on the TV, but I use a PlayStation 5 DualSense Edge controller for all you nerds. And it has gyro as well, so I was able to do that a little bit, which made me turn it off
Okay.
immediately.
So if the controller supports it, it will do it on the big screen.
Yeah. If you have yeah, exactly.
That's so cool. I don't think I've ever seen a
That's an extremely Sony thing.
yeah, I think that's the thing. I think this is the only time I've really seen that in use.
Yeah.
I should have switched over to PlayStation a while ago, man.
Dude, the future is there's gonna be a sale probably on it for Christmas this year. They're coming out with
I'm
like a
fucking
slim.
hoping.
I want one, but I just don't want to spend the money on it. For
Well,
like games I've already played, you know?
yeah.
There's like very few games that are on PlayStation 5 only. We're in that
True.
just transitioning phase out of PS4, you know?
Well, I think I want to get it for games I haven't yet played and to keep a console that can handle some of the upcoming stuff. So like
Yeah.
God of War, we're going to be playing. I fucking hope that in 2024, and I would like to play it on high res.
Is that a hint?
Yes, sir. Well, if you don't put it in the early part of the year, I'll be picking it soon after.
Yeah. Well, let's
So
see. Yeah. I have the next 2 lined up. So we'll see.
we'll get like how many you want? I was going to give you like 5. You want like
We'll go with that. It's fine.
all
If
right.
I stumble, I'll let you know, and you can
All right.
just throw God
Yeah.
of War on the table.
You just keep throwing them at me, and I'll let you know when I'm like, hey man, can we play this?
So it played well on the Steam Deck, and I finally got to like the dream was alive. I came home one day and I was like, I'm gonna play it a little bit. I sat on my back, like I have a bench that I built in my backyard, and I sat out there while the dogs were like rolling around in the grass and playing and stuff like that, and got to play on my Steam Deck outside. And the weather was great. It was a nice time, man. And that I think is one of the biggest appeals with the Steam Deck.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. So
I
you,
think.
yeah, go on.
Sorry, I think. I honestly, I think I played most of it in the hotels, just while I was
See, that's
traveling.
pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I don't have
Are
to
you
worry
using the shit
about.
out of that battery pack?
In general, yes. For the deck, not really. Which is funny. It's amazing, and for the deck, it's perfect. But just the nature of my work, I've been
Yeah.
using it for work more than anything else.
Dude, I have used it for cell phones almost exclusively. So yeah, I
See,
get
my
it.
my work laptop charges with USB-C. So it just worked out so perfectly that it just anyway. Do we want to get is there anything else just like
No, I feel like we can.
experiences and generalities
Yeah,
before
we
we
could
get into
close it out
like
here.
okay. right, and that's it. Thanks for listening. All right, so let's get into what do we have next? Graphics and art, which I think in this particular case, art style isn't really a thing. I think it's just going to be graphics.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there is one thing I could say, and it's that I'm not a big fan of, if you've ever seen like the art style of like the newer, well, I guess it's kind of in the Miles Morales movie. It has like a kind of a unique art style that almost looks like low resolution animation. I feel like it's like low res and like low frame rate animation. The
Oh,
Ninja
okay.
Turtles movie that just came out is a very prime example of what I don't like about that. But I'm glad that this game had a more like realistic style.
What you doing?
Fucking with my Christmas present, dude.
As James is trying to give his exposition on a graphic choice for the multiverse movies, he's like fucking with his camera, and I'm like watching an earthquake happen across
I feel
the.
like I did a pretty good job talking through it, but you
I
had to
wanted to call it out anyway.
call me out on it. But yeah, I don't know. I like that they went with a more realistic, like traditional graphics of a video game. I don't care for the art style that Miles Morales the movie is,
Okay, so
which I know is
this and
controversial.
this is something that for those that don't know, we do have a Patreon where we go and put on extended episodes where we talk about a bunch of like random tangents and stuff, which I'm about to get into. So if you want to hear it, head on over to patreon.com/321backlog. So it also comes out a week early. Anyway, back to the video game Miles Morales.
Yeah,
Graphically, I thought was fantastic.
I agree. It looked good. It never even really so much as stuttered for me. Like on the deck, I mean, it never looked bad. God of War, I had mentioned, had like a couple audio issues randomly and like frame drops. This game looked good from start to finish. Played
Yeah,
well. Never dropped at a frame rate where it felt slow.
agreed.
Can't say the same about the movie, but I haven't seen it. This sound again, I don't know, man. Why was the sound in this game so good? Like, why do you think it was so good?
No, so it was.
Had like a hip hop soundtrack. It was fucking good, dude. Yeah,
I think they took like your regular. I don't know if they because I didn't confirm this, but like how I was hearing it after playing the Spider-Man remastered, and they had similar stuff. It was like a heroic, like backtrack and all that. Like
yeah,
in the splash screen when you're like continue new game whatever.
yeah,
It was like they took a pre-existing bit of music and like added some hip hop flair to it. So you heard like that heroic kind of like elevator music, I guess.
to drop a damn beat on it.
And yeah, dude, it was
Yeah,
so
I
good.
was good. It was 10 out of 10, dude.
It was I can't tell you how often, not by like an exaggerated amount, but like I'd stay in the menu waiting to hit continue for a couple minutes
Yeah,
just to like
just a
I'd throw it
fucking
on.
vibe with Miles, dude.
Yeah, dude. I would on a couple occasions because I'm in the hotels, I would get ready to play it and I would put the menu on
Yeah,
and like go brush my teeth or something to like have that like just to let it like play so I could hear it and stuff.
yeah.
Because it was just so good. It was so good.
I really liked it too, like in the very intro of it when he's just kind of walking down the street and the music's like going. It all felt, it was like the I don't know, it tied in really well.
Yeah.
I've noticed a pretty big trend. I like music a lot. Like I like video game music. I like music in general. I like it a lot. But lately, I can't think of a game other than this one in a long time that had memorable music at all. Even
Yeah.
some of like the RPG type games that I play. I think of Doom, I think of Skyrim, but those are like the themes of it, and that's like those are very memorable. But it's like it's very difficult to think of anything that really sticks with me. So
I feel like, and this would be, I think I say this a lot, or I might edit it out, but I feel like I want to do like more research on these games after we play them before we record, but I end up running out of time. But this game to me, it has the feeling of like they really catered the music to this game
Yeah.
very heavily. Another,
It also fit like New York too.
yeah.
Like, I don't know, which is it's
Have you
important.
have you watched? Oh, what's that? It's a Disney movie with the Madrigals. Oh, dang it!
That sounds familiar.
It's Maribel. There's a magic family.
Oh yeah.
Encanto.
We don't talk about Bruno.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Encanto.
That's
So
sure, dude. I don't.
so
Yeah.
the that movie has gotten like such praise on the music alone
Yeah.
because
I think
what's
it
his
won
name?
awards. Yeah.
Lin
Did you
Miranda
say it got a
something.
BAFTA?
It probably no. So, but anyway, he the music direction for that movie. I mean, there was such an effort put towards that music to mesh into that story so well,
Yeah.
and it showed. And I feel like I haven't confirmed it, but in my gut, I'm feeling like the same amount of like passion and effort was put into Miles Morales. That so I every bit of it, down to the menus, down to those weird like loading slash cut scenes where you're waiting for stuff to happen, like the background music and that, it was all pristine.
Yeah,
It was
I
so
agree.
good.
The music
So
was perfect. That's my note about the sound
yeah,
quality, music,
yeah.
whatever. The sound effects of everything were good too, but the music was 10 out of 10 for this game, and I don't know if I could say it was memorable in the way that like I'd go back and listen to it independently, but it's never fit a game better that I can think of.
Yeah.
It was just damn good. What about the voice acting, which is another component of sound?
I'd probably give it like a high 9 out of 10. There were some I'm trying to think if I can remember somebody specifically. I think some of the dialogue options in some of the scenes were a little not cringy, but like this
Yeah.
was a Marvel, right?
Yep.
So they're a big studio, they have a wide audience, so you kind of see some of the dialogue tropes
Get a
that
little
they take.
cheesy from time to
Yeah,
time.
so
I'm
and
glad that you have the same exact opinion that I do.
yeah, but I also because there was some of them. It was the conversation between Miles and Finn in some of those parts. But I also have to remember they're children still, so
Yeah.
you kind of have to put that filter on a little bit. And I think also there were a couple.
There were some monologues that kind of like I remember Miles had like
Yeah,
some where he's just talking. Again, there's no real way for him to express how he's thinking, but it's also when I was 16 or 17, I wouldn't have been like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like it was just that. But again, you're not going to internalize the monologue, and there's not a way to convey while he's
yeah,
swinging around the city. But that's it was fine. It was within a reasonable amount. Like you said, there's like a certain amount of cheese acceptability in anything Marvel.
right.
So I gave it a 9.7998766666 out of 10.
I hope you noticed this, but did you notice that I'm pretty sure they recorded every portion of dialogue when he was in the open world twice?
No.
If he was on the phone with somebody and he was swinging, he sounded like he was running or doing something physical. But if you,
Interesting.
in mid conversation, if you were swinging and then landed and stopped, his voice would calm down and become more conversational in the moment.
I don't think I ever put feet on the ground in this game unless I
I
was
know.
beating the shit out of somebody.
So I think what it was is I think almost and the Spider-Man remastered did this as well. You finish a little mission, you go nearby and land on something, and you're ready to like go out and swing again. Somebody always calls you, like 100% after every
Right.
mission. Somebody calls you, and you start a conversation. And I think I had put the Steam Deck down, or I put something down, and one of those conversations started, and Miles was very like calm and conversational, but the conversation was still going on. So I jumped up and started swinging, and he started like sounding exacerbated and like he was jogging or something.
Yeah. Winded.
I thought that was winded. It
That's
was
cool.
so cool.
I only
That
got
was
the
such a
winded
cool touch.
Miles, but that is cool.
Yeah.
Does Spider-Man get out of breath? Does spiders breathe?
I don't think it's that he's out of breath. I think it's you ever like try to talk to somebody while
Yeah.
you're running? It's like you're focusing on something else.
Yeah. I got you.
You're hearing like the wind go by, so you're elevating your voice because what you're hearing is also elevated.
You get that adrenaline going because you're
Yeah.
free falling from a fucking building. Yeah, no, I get it for sure.
I thought that was so cool, and I wasn't sure if it was happening. I tested it so many times just to confirm it. It was so cool. So cool. I think Spider-Man 2018, I think they tried doing it. I've been playing it. I finished it. But I tried testing in there and I didn't get a good enough sample size to actually confirm it or not, but I think they tried it.
Does that game have Miles Morales in it?
In the story. So, oh my
Okay.
goodness.
I was just curious.
Oh, it's so
We could-
good. I want you to play it so bad. I want you to play it so bad. This series of games from Insomniac, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and then Spider-Man 2, I can only assume because both Spider-Man are in Spider-Man 2. It's like a whole encompassed fucking story, dude. We're playing right now Miles Morales after he kind of like started to come into the Spider-Man bit.
Yeah.
But I truly think now we were kind of watching his origin story in 2018.
That's cool.
So there you didn't
Through the eyes of Spider-Man, Peter Parker.
No.
Okay.
Well, in addition, in Spider-Man Remastered 2018, I'm going to touch on it the whole fucking time, dude. You played as Peter Parker. At some point, you took the reins on Mary Jane.
What?
And on some portions, you actually played as Miles.
Oh, that's
like,
cool.
Like for story beats. So you were like walking through a city. You weren't Spider-Man, but you were just walking around because they were trying to establish that character. It was so good. I am so upset that I've been out of Sony for so long.
It's no time like the present, dude.
Dude, it's. I feel like I think the caffeine finally kicked in, and I'm like,
You're just amped up on Miles.
I'm vibrating, dude.
Okay.
So,
all right.
I might
Sit
go into
down.
more. I might go into more detail when we get
Alec,
into
why are you
story
standing up
bits.
right now? Sit down, dude. Why are you standing on your chair?
No, when we get into the story bit, I might elaborate a little bit more on that because I don't know if we're going to do a Spider-Man 2018 episode, but I do want to call on it because there was a lot that did end up tying into this one.
Okay, then it's something I want to play at some point.
All right,
It
so I
just
won't go
wasn't-
too spoilery, but
Okay, yeah, I have a short-term memory, I think so. You want to get into the gameplay and the mechanics of it a little bit?
yeah, I think so.
I just want to say, if Spider-Man, it seems to be kind of the center of the multiverse in a lot of this, because like the most recent movie was really what kind of expanded the multiverse and all that.
Yeah.
So like the the mob is like prominent in New York. So or one day, where am I going with this? One day,
Yeah, where are you going with this?
Are we gonna see fucking Miles Moroni, the Italian Spider-Man? He's just like he's trying to juggle working at his fucking uncle's pizza shop. While is this racist? No. It's
Hey, I'm swinging here.
hey, I'm swinging here. Miles Moroni, dude. That's all. That's all. Just wanted to get that point in there.
Who would play Miles Moroni?
Fucking Ray Romano.
I was gonna say Ray Romano.
Yeah, dude,
I swear I was gonna say Ray
Yeah,
Romano.
he's a 16-year-old boy, but he's not at all. He's like, hey.
Oh my god, so good.
So
I
bad.
I was so gonna say it.
Okay, that's enough of that. Okay, so we have kind of different style of notes. Yours are like college graduate. Mine are
mine are to
high school
remind me of
dropout.
stuff. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I guess you started off, man.
All right, am I starting off? All right, let me I was looking at something I made. Okay, so I apologize. There was so much. When I was making this gameplay mechanics note, I had the game open.
Yeah.
And I kind of wanted to touch on some of the things, like going through. I basically went through the whole fucking menu. Some of them some of it I'll go in detail. Some of it I'll just like call out why I talked about it, and then at any point, if you have one that kind of matches up with that, let me know. So I touched briefly on the 2002 version of this game, or edition of this game. The web swinging before, it was just just he shot the web up in the air. It didn't matter what was near him. He would just swing regardless, right? They didn't really have the means to make it any more complicated than that. On this one, there had to be something near and
Yeah.
within a certain distance below or above your character to actually swing on. So
Which was cool because that's much
which
more
was so cool.
realistic.
Yeah. So there was like the Avengers Tower, or if you went up to like the top of the Empire State Building and you jumped off, unless you turned around to interact with the building you just came off of, if there was no other building nearby, you couldn't web onto anything. So
Yeah.
you were just free falling. There, when you go through Central Park, you can't swing until you get like into the trees, and then you're like dodging people and stuff and have the risk of like hitting the ground and having to like start running and stuff. So I thought that was a really cool. Would that be like their like physics that they introduced into it, or is that, I don't know if that falls under like their physics engine, but
To say a little bit of realism, maybe.
yeah, that map is much more accurate.
I don't know. The only thing that gets me is Spider-Man takes no fall damage, which is kind of odd because I feel like he would just snap up
Yeah,
if he hit the ground. But I guess that would be
didn't-
kind of crappy.
I didn't realize that. I had to. I finally ended up testing that, and yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but I mean, in every instance, there would have at least been a tree that you could like slow your fall enough in. It also
Yeah.
would be really like kind of a lame mechanic if you did take fall damage in this game.
Well, aren't there spiders that like quote unquote like can fly between things? They'll let out some web, and the web will have enough resistance that it will like carry them along and like glide them to another area. It could be something like that.
In general, I think it's safe to say that if you do a superhero landing, then you're not going to take fall damage anyway. So,
Let's go test it
And he did that every single time. He fucking
Yep.
hits that Spider-Man landing every time, so
every time.
saves you the fall damage.
How'd you like the combat?
I've always enjoyed the combat in Spider-Man games. This one was no exception at all. I will say it was a little bit easy, mainly because of Spidey sense kind of just always tips you off if you're going to take it. It reduces your need to have awareness, but it was good.
Well,
I like
I
the
mean-
mixture of everything, like using webs, launching people in the air.
I think because they had such a mixture of later in the game enemy type and
Yeah.
then combat type, melee versus ranged, and then different types of ranged and melee characters, that I can't tell you how often I had just people like fully around me, fully out of camera, that you wouldn't know. And I mean that the spider sense has been such a big staple of that character. It makes sense that they had it, and I
Right.
relied on that heavily. So I do also want to call out, because I've talked about other games, you and I, about like dodging and parrying and all that, and like this is the version of it that I like. A visual indication before it
Yeah.
happens. We talked briefly about Assassin's Creed Mirage, and I don't think it's formatted properly, because if I was to equate it to how Mirage is doing, like say if your Spidey sense came over as you got shot, like that's what Mirage felt like.
Right, yeah.
So I really liked how they did it here, and I liked all the moves. How do you like games that do like move combos and button combinations? Because it's been a while since I played a game that did
I
that.
think God of War had that.
Yeah, but
Right.
I feel like Spider-Man.
Devil
I
May
think
Cry
only
had it.
a couple. Oh Jesus. Yeah.
It was, I like it. I think it's good to an extent. It shouldn't be so complicated. Like, I don't want the Tekken 10 hit combo in every game where
Right.
you have to be like a fucking expert to do it. But it is nice to switch it up and kind of feel like you're adding finesse to the game.
Yeah.
This game, again, did it really well. Like the fact that you could launch somebody in the air and then you had the option to pull them down or pull yourself to them. Kind of
Right.
stuff like that. I liked that. And then, yeah, it was good. This was on the simpler side, I think, on combat, for sure.
Yeah. In addition to your basic, fisticuffs, Miles Morales, his special thing, his special power, they named it Venom power. He has like an electricity
He has
kind
that
of
in the
power
movie or
with him.
no?
He does.
Okay.
And he also has camouflage, so he can go invisible as well later on. So they did add those aspects to it. And I tell you, going from Miles Morales, playing that first, and then going back to 2018 and playing, I really missed having camouflage.
I
So-
tried not to use it too much, because
Oh, I lived in it.
it's well, there's like a fine line in games. Like I remember I played Crisis and you had camouflage, and it's like you could just break the game if you overutilize it.
Hmm.
So I tried it, but also every enemy in this game is nearsighted as fuck. Anyway, so
Nobody looks up.
no one looks up, dude, against a guy who's a man spider, spider boy.
Oh,
It's true,
it's
but
so funny. I'm gonna bump down a little bit on my notes, but they also had a system of gadgets that you could kind of utilize in and out of combat.
the only one I can think of, yeah, they weren't memorable. There was, yeah, it's weird. I remember specifically the hologram one.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, and there was like a way you could like blow up where they're like remote mines or something.
yeah. See, I most
They
recently
weren't
played
memorable.
2018,
Hmm.
and I'm remembering all of theirs, and they were vastly different. I like some of the ones that they had in 2018. I'm hoping. I'm curious, so curious how they're gonna do Spider-Man 2, like what they've really done to differentiate your two,
Yeah.
because you have both. I believe you have access to both Miles Morales and Peter Parker. So
Yep.
I'm real curious. But anyway, they had about the system of gadgets. You could call on different little components that Peter had left you.
I remember I accidentally activated all like multiple holograms on accident one time, and I just had like all these buddies running around, and I was like, "Oh fuck, this is cool. That's very helpful." And then I never purposely used it unless I was told to.
Yeah.
But that has more to do with, I guess I could have bumped the difficulty up maybe, and I played it on whatever medium is, I guess, in this game.
I think I played on friendly, like your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, which I think was like not the easiest. I think the
Hmm.
next one up, but then in 2018 I played on amazing. And I
Oh,
think going to, if we ever get to PlayStation, or excuse me, if we ever get to Spider-Man 2, I think I'm gonna bump it up even
fucking
more.
hard mode, Dark Souls Spider-Man. I will
Yeah.
say that when you get into the Roxxon people and they are using like live ammunition, they're like
Yeah.
shooting to kill, man. You take half
Oh
your
yeah.
health away. Another thing too, I guess you had like a healing thing. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
normal for Spider-Man, but like you could use some of your Venom energy, electricity to heal yourself,
Yeah.
which was nice because it's like it's a good way, it's a good trade-off, you know.
They
But
had that in 2018 as well. Their reasoning was different. In 2018 it was like a stamina thing. You're like calling on your energy to self heal.
same
In
thing essentially, right?
Miles Morales, I think it was like a venom power.
Yeah.
So it was the same mechanic. They just reskinned the reason of
Yeah.
why you could do it. So
Venom Power is kind of an odd name since Venom is an enemy in Spider-Man games.
yeah,
I don't know if there's a reason for that, but I'll be interested to find out one day.
I think I if I remember the dialogue, I think it was like, oh, you're packing an extra punch, or you're putting extra damage on top of your hit or whatever. So it's like, oh, it's like your venom that you're injecting because you're a spider.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of how they role played it. But did you do any of the car chases?
No.
So there were these little activities and little missions or like crimes that were happening in the city.
Yeah.
Some of them, if the bad guys were already in a high speed chase or they stole a car during the encounter, they would speed off and you could like chase them. And there was a whole another like mechanic to this. It was kind of like quick time events. So
Hmm.
basically, you land on the car, and at various points, people will like poke out of the car and like try to shoot you on top and stuff. So you're like flipping around the car and stuff,
Yeah.
and pulling them out. It was basically just, joystick movement and then hitting X at the right time to pull them out. But it was kind of cool. Uh, Staying on car chases specifically. One, every New York street inside of any of the Spider-Man games have like no traffic, so not realistic there in a funny way. But also, whenever you have to tail a car, it goes like 100 miles an hour through these fucking streets. It's
Yeah.
so fast. It's just like comically fast. How
How well
like
you can
in
drive going 100 miles an hour on a two-lane
yeah,
street.
and it's like, barreling down, and then it has to make a turn. It slows down for a second and then just goes again. It was a little janky, and I don't think it translated well on like the scale of New York for
Yeah.
these streets in the game. But it was just kind of funky.
Well, talking about that, there's two things. I want to say if you look in the general, like on our chat here, I sent a screenshot. There's one that's like peach colored. I like
Oh,
the
wow.
city was fully loaded, but this was like a weird thing. So after I completed the game, I went back to the bridge to visit, and there's all your cars. But they're still just driving across it. But if you jump down there, there's no road for you to land on at all. It's
Oh,
not like an,
interesting.
but the cars just can. It's just an odd thing that the game's been out for this long, and they never did anything with that.
Yeah.
But I just thought that was kind of funny. I don't care. It didn't break the game for me or anything. But it a bridge gets destroyed in the game for anybody listening, and then for some reason, way later in the game, when you check on that bridge and you have access to free roam, the cars are still driving on it,
Oh,
just driving in thin air.
right. I
I
don't think I ever revisited it.
Yeah, I just wanted to see it, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that the since we're kind of talking about the like extra little side quest things you could do, what do you want to call them? Missions.
Hmm.
They didn't, to me, they didn't add too much to the game. I would understand if it added like a lot of combat, like experience and stuff like that, and there was like skill trees that really fully fleshed out. But they didn't, to me, they didn't add a lot to the game. That's my only complaint about it. And some of them were really bland. Like it was like you go here and you beat up a couple people, very easy.
It
Or
was a
like there was
lot
like
of
one that
rinse
was
and
like
repeat.
break icicles off of a thing. Did you have to do that one?
I'm trying to remember.
It
I
was like
did
a crane with
100%.
icicles, and they're like, "Oh, we can't
Oh,
move it till
yeah.
the icicles are
Yeah.
gone." It's like, yeah, this is like
Well,
this is a
I think it was a silly
classic.
way for them to like exercise the mechanic of like swinging, then aiming, and trying to like use the mechanics in a different way.
Right.
You know, so I think it when you know it was silly, but I don't think I found any that I like just didn't like. I think the over reliance on like go and beat up the thugs or beat up the bad guys on literally every single mission kind of got played out a little bit.
Right.
But when they broke away from that and did some of those, there was I can't remember if it was 2018 or this one. There was one where I think it was in the other one. There
There's
were
so many
these
games.
like yeah, no. They were like blocked pipes or something, or leaking pipes or something. So you had to go and like web the pipes to you
That
know.
seems like a temporary solution to a permanent problem.
Yeah, I no, I fully agree with you
Come
there.
on, Spider-Man. Be better than that, dude. Let that dude. Is this up to fucking OSHA standards? Some guy's
Uh,
web jizz just patching up holes on a leaky dam. I don't know about
it
this.
dries really solid.
I guess, dude.
Well, the different activities were presented to you inside of a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man app, like a phone app,
Yeah.
which was kind of cool. In the story, Miles and his best friend kind of create an app for citizens to like ask for Spider-Man's help and stuff. So there was a
He's
couple
like
interesting story beats and stuff
the
that were in
people's
there.
Spider-Man, dude.
Yeah.
He's the people. He's the Paul Wall of Spider-Man. He's the people's champ. It's a little Texas reference.
There were a bunch of citizen requests, and you could do police scanner things.
Yeah.
Some of the citizen requests were like, oh, what was some of them? It introduced your uncle, Aaron Paul. Was it Aaron Paul?
Uncle
Or no,
Aaron.
sorry, Uncle Aaron. It introduced Uncle Aaron, so that kind of introduced you into that. And then there was one like one of the quests was taking someone's pet cat
So if you
on like
bring him.
a ride. Did that come
What?
through the mic?
Yeah, was somebody playing bongos at your house?
I so oh my god, quick aside. I put out my alcohol bins for
Oh,
resin
yeah.
3D printing
They got
cleaning.
winded.
And yeah, there's one that's empty. It had resin, it had dirty alcohol in it, so I wanted it to dry and cure anything that's on it so I can keep using it. But I think it just got windy and it knocked it over. It's a gallon jug that was just empty.
Okay, yeah, that sound makes sense with what I heard. I heard bongos, but your description makes it a little more.
So, oh no, but one of the requests was somebody with their cat was missing. It was somebody that owned a bodega. They had a cat that they named Spider-Man, and Spider-Man was missing, so you had to go on a mission to go find the cat. And if you continue with that quest line, you get a costume, an outfit where it's Spider-Man has a backpack on with a cat that has itself a Spider-Man mask on. So you could go web slinging through the city with a cat in a backpack on your back.
I wish I would have done that one.
Yeah.
That one would have been great.
It's so good. So yeah, that was a good little bit of side stuff. Talking about the suits specifically, there were 20 different suits you
It's a
could get.
lot, yeah.
It was a lot.
Which is cool if you want to do the collecting aspect of it.
Yeah, there are a
But
lot of collectibles. A lot of collectibles.
once he got his like suit upgrade, I never changed it. I looked once and I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. There's like, uh what do you call that? Not material, content
Yeah.
to unlock, but I just never really I don't know. I wanted it I enjoyed the game. I wanted to play it, but I didn't.
Each suit came with like a different or unique mod that you could unlock, and like that
Oh,
suit could
that's cool.
use a certain thing. 2018 did the same thing. You could get a new suit; it would have a certain mod to it, and then you could then take that mod onto any other suit. So you could kind of keep the skin you
Okay.
wanted, and then yeah,
I guess I didn't. If I would have realized that, that's good. Realize
yeah.
I still don't know if I would have like sought out every single suit to get every mod
Mhm.
for a game that's combat wasn't particularly challenging
Yeah.
to me, but
I
it's good.
also liked that whatever suit you were in, it would carry over into the loading screens.
Yeah, that would be necessary.
Well, I'm not saying like cutscenes or when you're fast traveling because you're like in the subway doing funny stuff.
Yeah.
Like the one where he's like in that crazy Spider-Man pose where he got it, a hand out or whatever, and he's in that, really
Oh yeah.
extended, like that, basically the box art, that loading screen would change to whatever costume you were wearing. So they animated that loading screen, which is basically the box art, with every costume.
That's cool. Yeah,
A lot, like that's such
yeah.
like a simple attention to detail kind of thing
Yeah.
that I really liked.
That reminded me too, again, it's in the general chat. There's another thing that I really liked what they did. I couldn't find out if this was so the other spoiler image that I posted,
Yeah.
it's like gray. So Miles, it's cold obviously, so he's wearing like a jacket, but I don't know if you know, like Timberlands, the boots, they're
Hmm.
like pivotal to hip hop culture, especially and specifically in New York.
Yeah.
So I was like, when I saw, I was like, oh, that's cool. He's like wearing like he's wearing a pair of Tims, and
Yeah.
that I felt like that was like a very good choice for him since we're talking about outfits.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was just good. Like I liked that his outfit changed too during the scenes where he wasn't always just
Yeah.
wearing street clothes, you know. But that was I don't know. I just thought that was pretty cool, and I also like a good attention to detail as far as like the culture that kind of surrounds this character.
Yeah, for sure. They did a really good job representing where were they at? They were in Harlem
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
and that part
boy.
of New York.
Yeah. He's a people's champ, dude.
So no, I really enjoyed it.
And then you were talking about fast traveling and loading screens. I talked to my brother-in-law about this game a little bit, and he said he really enjoyed this game. He said he liked it better than the other Spider-Man game that but he said he was like, what's funny is I never used fast travel. And I said, holy fuck, neither did I. I forgot it was in the game. And we both came to the conclusion, though, that's kind of how you know that, like, traveling on foot is fun.
Mhm.
Like, or, not on the opposite of on foot, but like the web slinging part of it, especially
Yeah.
later on when you're like going really quickly and you get like the extra boost slinging and swinging faster.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I am aware of the fast travel. I watched the videos of it because I saw in your notes that you commented about it. So like it was cool. And you want to tell a little bit about like what you liked about the fast traveling?
Yeah, so I think I used the fast travel when I switched to collectible hunting mode.
Yeah.
So, but for the majority of it, I rarely used it until I was kind of done with most of the story, and I wanted to just quickly go into like maintenance mode, right? But what I liked was similar to the loading screen. You were in your costume that you've chosen, but you were in the subway.
Yeah.
Story beat. You were given an all inclusive pass to the subway, and it was Miles in his Spider-Man getup, like awkwardly in the middle of the subway trying to like do backflips and
Yeah.
like be entertaining.
There's like one part where he's talking to a guy in a Spider-Man outfit.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There was another one where I don't know if it queued on certain story beats, but there was one where he was just in camouflage, so he was writing it invisible.
That's
You know,
funny.
so it was just a stupid little thing that I I think stuff like that, the loading screen, the Timberlands you talked about,
Yeah.
like the attention to unimportant details.
I feel like that
y- You
places a
know?
big emphasis on the culture of New York too,
Yeah.
as a
I
non-New
I thought it
Yorker.
was great. I
Yeah.
thought it was great.
It's funny to me because I'm pretty sure Spider-Man riding a subway would be the opposite of fast travel. It seems like it
You're
would
right.
slow you way down, but
Well, it's fast for us.
yeah.
But I mean, in which episode or which movie was it? It was either Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield's. He had to ride an elevator for some reason. I think it might have been Tobey Maguire's when he was going through his existential crisis. He was in his getup, but he had to ride an elevator, so he was just kind of like
Oh, it
awkwardly
was when he
standing next to it,
couldn't,
dude.
when he
Yeah,
lost some of his spider powers.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they've played around with it a little bit in other media, like just doing the mundane thing.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna breeze past the collectibles real quick.
I just want to say one thing that the sound sample collection part was weird.
That one felt forced.
It really did. Yeah. I don't know. It's fine.
So we'll start with that one. So you
We'll
end up
end with it
meeting,
too.
yeah, no. So you through the story of the Spider-Man app, you get a request from your Uncle Aaron, and then through that, he finds out you're Spider-Man, and then puts you on a collectible hunt for different sound bites from back when your uncle and your father, who has since passed, would like sample different sounds in the city to make music. So you're
Hip hop
going on these
beats.
hunts. Yeah. So you're going on this hunt for to find different sound bites, and it opened up a little mini game and stuff. But it was I feel like it was one that you got really early, and it just after once you got to the very end of the game and got everything, it was a really lacking payoff. It was more of like trying to be an emotional thing because you got to see
Right.
through like sound clips, stuff that you and your dad and your uncle had kind of talked through and things they were feeling and all that. I just think it felt forced to me.
Yeah, a little bit. I would
So
agree. And just also not interactive in a way that I enjoy.
yeah,
Like that.
yeah,
Like I could understand like the parts where you like time capsules are just a collectible thing and that's cool.
mhm.
That's fine. And then there was the other thing like you had to go find the like the hologram things from Spider-Man that he put out like other things in the city, right?
Yeah. You had one from
Yeah.
Peter Parker where they were like challenges or training
Yeah,
exercises.
yeah. That's fine. That's cool.
Hmm.
Because it's combat and it's enjoyable, but going and like trying to record a specific noise is not funny. Not
Right,
fun. I
right.
mean, it's not
No,
funny
for sure.
either.
No,
It's not even it's not anything. It's just it's bland, but
yeah. But no, you got the ones that were easy where it was just like press X to collect or whatever.
yeah.
The time capsules that were your connection to Finn, who is a story character, the postcards that your mom left, which was to tie in your mom and your dad's relationship, were a quick selection. And before I get into the other ones, those the reason I wanted to call those out is in literally every other game outside of this franchise that collectibles have been a thing. It's just, in my opinion, been filler,
Right.
right? So you go, you find the little hidden thing, you hit a button, and now you're done. And then you go on. I spent so much time in the menu of this game listening to the dialogue and like the extra stuff that came with these collectibles. So, say
Yeah.
you found a time capsule, it would be like a little movie tickets or something that you and Finn went and saw, and he would have like a little commenter thing about it, and they were quality, all of them.
Which brings me back to like a more recent game that we played, We Happy Few, how you would find shit like that and then you'd have to go in a menu and read it.
Yeah,
Like just play the audio. I like that they did that. It's and it was good. All of it, like every
yeah.
bit of the, it was entertainment value. It
Mhm.
gave you something to listen to while you were going to the next destination and stuff like that. It was good. I like that.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
And then I think one of my favorite, I put them under collectibles, but I think they were just gonna automatically happen regardless, but you could go back and re-listen to them. The podcasts.
Yeah, they were entertaining.
Did you listen to those? I listened to every single one, and each one was gold.
I didn't collect them all. or anything, but
they weren't triggerable. They just
okay, yeah, I
happened
think
in
I
the
listened
story.
to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
if you like got into too much dialogue or got to your next quest point too quick, it would just stop the
Oh yeah,
recording.
so if there was one playing, I would like take a long way or let it go through because they were good. Yeah.
If you did that, you listened to them all, and they were so good. We had two main ones. The one that was done, just the facts with what's his name? J Jonah Jameson.
Oh
The
yeah, that guy's fucking. This version of that guy is ridiculous.
hilarious. It's voiced by Darren DePaul, who I I I know him from other content on the internet, and he is very good at what he does. He's very good at deep, gravelly voices, but he did a really good job with Jonah Jameson in this one, and
Uh,
he was an insane person.
he was clinically insane. Yeah,
He was insane.
just
It was
completely
so good.
deranged. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Danica, I know the other guy. He's like occurs in like there's always an iteration of that guy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Danica is that she's in the movies and stuff too.
This one I've never heard of. She was, as far as I know, unique to this game,
Oh, okay,
from what
that's
I'm
cool.
aware.
Yeah,
But I didn't do any comics or anything in my youth. So,
I'm trying to. Yeah, I think you might be.
but she was voiced by Ashley Birch, also in the internet space of people that are floating around. I liked hers. The what her podcast was about was kind of like neither here nor there. But at the end of each one of the DanaCast episodes, she had a little like helpful reminder, like make sure you brush your teeth 3 times a day, like little stupid shit
Right.
like that were like well, I'm trying to remember, so I should have wrote some of them down, but they were just gold. I loved them.
Till next time, if you're walking on a busy sidewalk, step to the side if you're staring at your phone or need to slow down, or I will run you over. Just kidding. Mostly. Okay, bye.
So yeah, I went and listened to every single one of them. If I missed one, I made sure I went back. They were great. They were
It
absolutely
seems
great.
like she is unique to this game from what I can
Okay.
quickly gather. I'm not digging too deep into it. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna phone a friend on this one, but yeah, good. I like that, especially that if that is true, I like that they have a character specific to this game.
Yeah.
Instead
I
of
hope
it just
she
being
I hope she
pulled
comes
from-
back into Spider-Man 2. In whatever capacity, I don't care. I hope they keep something there.
Yeah,
The last two things I want to call out before I get into, until I'm ready to get into the story beats, is
fuck.
there was a menu option. You could look at all the different characters you meet, all the NPCs that were named, so you could have a little tidbit on stuff about them. So, like, your
Yeah.
mom was a character; she was running for office, right? So you could just get a quick little, info on her. It was great. All the enemies you encounter, it was great. Just to have it was nice. I think some of the combat enemies, it showed weaknesses in there as well. I think. I may be
The
wrong
only
about that.
weakness I can think of is everybody was nearsighted. They can't look up. And the purple people, what are they called?
That was the underground.
Yeah, they were weak to venom power.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And Roxxon was actively developing against it, I believe.
yeah. So their weakness was just getting punched up.
The last thing was there was this has been in other games, but there was like a social media feed throughout the game. So you could go on the
Okay.
social feed and be like Facebook posts and Twitter tweets and stuff.
This is a Strand
Like,
game.
yeah, it was like their version of it. It wasn't like actually Twitter X or Facebook or whatever. It was just like that in-universe version of it. But people,
Yeah.
like civilians, would like see you swing by and like take pictures of you.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
yeah,
they
so you
would
could
be
go
like
and
little
like
screen caps
yeah.
from another perspective. Love
yeah,
that.
so you would see screen grabs, you would see comments about stuff, little quips here and there. I thought it was again unnecessary, but it was nice
But
that it was
cool.
there. I didn't look at it too much. I just skimmed through it when I was making my notes list. But
There was it's a Strand type game. We can agree on that. There was also a social media thing it's probably in a lot of games, especially now, but also in South Park, The Stick of Truth. There was like a social media thing in there.
we should play that.
I
Did you end up playing all of it?
no,
Oh,
no.
okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. I'm not playing it right now, but okay.
Oh
So
man.
yeah, you want to talk more about the story of it? Do you want to discuss the characters a little bit?
Yeah, I think we should get
What's your
into
deal, bro?
kind of the basic story and maybe talk about some of the different characters that were in this version of Spider-Man. So,
Yeah. Oh, I want to say, shut the fuck up. I want to say this. The Venom powers were cool. I liked the Venom powers a lot, but I feel like it made the finishers way less cool because they were so similar. Like it was just like if you hit someone with a Venom power punch, they were already done for. Even if they didn't immediately knock them out, like the next step was them being knocked out.
right.
I feel like the finishers lost their cool factor because of that.
That was something I didn't call out was the finishers and takedowns.
Yeah, the takedowns were cool. How there was like a stealthier way to take somebody down. I don't know either, but if you were sneaking, if you were being sneaky, and you did a takedown that webbed them up to a wall, did that make them? I know they couldn't get off of the wall, but like if you just knock somebody out, could they be then woken up by another NPC?
No, once
Oh,
they
once they're out, they're out.
once they're webbed to
Okay.
something, they're out, I think.
Yeah, but I thought maybe if you just did a knockout one, knock the guy out, and then another NPC. In my head, I thought they could wake them up. So I would always try to prioritize
I don't remember.
webbing them up. I don't
Yeah.
know. That's me. I'm probably wrong, but
See, I'm now trying to still remember to separate out the 2018 Spider-Man from Miles Morales because for Miles Morales, I finished
fucked
this
up.
like a month ago. So
No, dude, you finished it in the month of December. It's fucking
yes,
Christmas.
all right. So we've been talking about like how to approach the story with this game, and I think if you haven't already, people should just go play it. This is it's kind of a big story. I don't want to go through what we did with Death Stranding and just beat a dead horse with all the different things and little side things here and there. We're going to kind of talk about maybe favorite moments and like notable characters or interactions with characters and kind of leave it there. So,
Cool.
biggest recommendation, go play the game if you haven't already. Go watch some gameplay. The story it is very good. It's a good one. I had some issues with some things here and there, but overall it was very good. But we could do another whole episode on just the story, getting down into like the details. So I want to open it up to James. Let's start with you want to start with good guys or bad guys?
Always good guys.
All right. Did you have a notable friendly character through this whole game?
Nope. What's next? I just want to say I liked the interaction of like Peter Parker and whatever the other guy's name was.
Miles
I
Morales?
sure, dude. I don't know. I don't know how you remember all this shit.
I don't.
No, I liked their interaction between each other. I thought it was good. I thought it was a cool way to kind of give him his own story by him just confidently letting him handle the city for a while.
Mhm.
It was cool that there was like some people had a preference of which Spider-Man they liked. Like the NPCs would shout out like, like this wouldn't happen with the real Spider-Man or the other Spider-Man. And then I wanted to say another thing. I don't know if you caught this. I have subtitles on for everything always. But there's a flashback near the end of the game where you're at the museum with Finn when you
Yes.
guys are like kids. Did you realize that Peter Parker was at the museum?
I think so.
Like they don't interact, but like he's having a
Yeah.
conversation, I think with his uncle
Yes,
or something like
yes.
that. I just thought that was really a neat touch. I liked that. Something to look out for. It doesn't spoil anything for the game at all, knowing that, but it is something to kind of look out for. And I like that they clearly put a lot of thought into that kind of shit with this game.
Yeah.
What about you?
For me, I think it was past the midway point of the game. The podcaster Danica, who does the DannyCast, I believe through Genki's app, gets connected with Spider-Man. So there were some interactions with her that I really liked because she was
Yeah.
she was kind of like innocent and trying to be like the good person and all that. So, but she was very like like an innocent personality, and I liked their interactions.
Yeah.
Though she was just a voice, there was no character model that they used, but I did like their interactions.
Okay.
So what about enemies?
I mean, I guess there was a lot of enemies in this game.
Well, I'd say like named NPCs, not like the bruiser, the fat guys that you fought, but like
Yeah. No,
Krieger,
I mean,
Rhino.
though, that's
Yeah,
what I mean, though. There were like a fair amount of villains. Krieger's kind of, he is like the biggest villain of this game, but he's not really like hands-on a villain. You're not beating him up. But he was boring. I liked the fights with Rhino and Tinkerer a lot. Tinkerer.
Tinker.
I really liked the opening part where you're doing essentially like a high speed chase with Rhino. I don't know how he
Yeah.
behaves in the comics and stuff, but I'm assuming he just fucking runs.
There is an achievement that I think I went back in the new game plus when I
Yeah.
played a little, because I was thinking about doing achievement hunting, and I stopped that pretty quick. But in that first one, when you kind of like snap on the back of him and like steer him around, there's an achievement to make him run into the most stuff and like keep
that's
destroying
funny.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I might have got that on accident.
so that was fun.
Yeah. I like that guy. I thought the Tinkerer, how she had access to everything, like everything that you've already fought, just constant changing it up was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I want to say that Simon Krieger is a bitch. He said, and I quote, like he basically dipped out after he captures you very temporarily. And he says that he's got to go to the gym. That was his excuse for leaving. And he says, leg day, can't skip it.
Oh, Lord.
And then he leaves. And then, like 30 seconds later, you catch him skipping leg day. Like, which is funny to me. I don't know if that's entirely intentional, but he definitely skipped leg day.
That's
after
funny.
Saying he can't skip
That's
it. But
funny.
I hated that guy. I liked that part, though. But what about you, man? Who's your villain of the game?
So mine is from the lens of hating the fight itself. I hated the Prowler fight.
Why?
It was so hard.
Really?
It was so hard for me, and I was on a lower difficulty.
Okay.
Because he could like basically, I think he was teleporting or something, and if you were visible and not camouflaged, he would immediately get you. It was like what if there was a pattern or like a meta mechanic to this fight? I just could not get it. I think I tried 4 or 5 times to do it, and it was brutal every time.
He was definitely, I think, the more difficult fight for me, but I guess what you're having a hard time with was he had camouflage as well,
Yeah.
and he would use camouflage, and then he would like sucker punch you.
Yes.
So you get a little bit of warning about that, right? For
I guess it
dodge?
just wasn't enough, or I
Yeah.
guess I could. It might have just been my capability. I wasn't really fast enough, or you know,
Yeah.
I couldn't react. I don't know. It might have been me, but it was just a hard fight. I just yeah.
It was I enjoy a difficult fight, I guess, maybe. So, but I didn't mind that fight. Also, I think the solution that I found worked the best was to then immediately Venom punch him.
Yeah.
And the second he comes out, you just Venom punch him. And then he's kind of stunned for a little bit, and then you can take him to Pound Town. I think that's what you do.
I think I've been getting some other games mixed up because we've now started talking about like next games and stuff. You and I. This game, you didn't see health bars, right? Only
Nope.
your own.
No health bars.
And that I don't
Maybe.
like.
No.
I like having the option to turn it off, but I don't like not having it as a baseline.
I'm conflicted a little bit about that because I feel like, yeah, sure, but then there's like a million games where there's a health bar and then you deplete the health bar and then it just goes to a second phase, and it's really just something that doesn't necessarily need to be there.
I think I like to know, like, is my suffering almost over? Right?
And that's what makes a game good.
We talked about in the Jotun or the Jotun episode, the fire guy. One of the first few attempts at that, it got to like the tiniest little sliver of health, and then I died from it.
Yeah, because you get overconfident that you're just gonna end it.
Yeah, and it's like,
Yup.
but
See,
no,
imagine if you
it
didn't
wasn't.
have a health bar.
No, it wasn't like an overconfident thing. It was like okay, I just need to do like, I don't know.
I get that. Yeah,
I
you
don't
know
know.
that you were 99% of the way through it, and you say, if I
Yes.
can just squeeze out 1 more percent, I can finish this.
Yes.
And then
yes.
you fucking fail again.
So I wished I would have had like a health bar or something just to see, like, is my suffering almost over?
Yeah.
But I
No, that
didn't.
makes sense.
And yeah, so I did not like that fight.
I wish
So,
my life had a health bar on it, so I would know if my suffering was
my
almost
God.
over.
I did.
Whoa!
Jesus Christ.
Merry fucking Christmas.
I liked the character of Uncle Aaron.
Yeah,
A
I did
lot.
too. I'm
and I-
glad I'm glad that his story ended up the way that it did.
Yeah. And I did like his interactions early on as the Prowler before that fight, but that fight specifically was just fucking brutal for me. So
Yeah, it was. It was good. I didn't have any. I don't know. It worked. I was fine with it. Again, well, you were on the Steam Deck.
yeah.
Interesting. So you didn't have probably any controller lag.
Nope.
Okay. I don't know. I was gonna say that blame it on because the Xbox has more controller lag than PlayStation 5's
Right.
controller, but I
You
don't know,
know,
man.
I don't think I'm getting older in the sense of like losing motor
arthritis.
function or anything like that, but I just feel like I'm not as fast as I used to be with
Take
some
a
of these,
sip
like,
of a drink right now. Let me see how much you spill, dude. Oh yeah, man. Just throwing water all over the place. Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think either of us are there yet, but go back and play some of the games
Or-
you were good at when you were a
Yeah.
kid, and we're not as good as we used to be.
were there any story beats that you wanted to call out that you particularly liked or didn't like?
Any part of the story I didn't like?
Yeah. I may be out of context, but you know.
I can say the ending is one of the only times on a game where I've like finished the game basically, where it was kind of I don't know. I felt like a lot of like emotion, I guess you would
Oh
say.
yeah. Yeah.
Like it was I don't know, it was moving, I guess, more so than like any of the other games that we played on this podcast by
Yeah.
a large amount. I don't know. Maybe I was just maybe I was hungry. I don't know, but
No, it did have an emotional ending and I really liked the ending.
yeah.
Very, very much.
I don't know if there's anything that really stood out as like that I disliked, to be honest. No. 10
I
out of
did-
10.
There was I don't know if you remember this. It was the only bit of choice you had for a story piece in the entire game. When you go to Christmas dinner at your house and you get to pick a record.
Oh, I didn't
Remember
know
that?
you had any choice. I thought I
You
just played whatever I picked.
you had three. There was one that was just like a generic, fun for the holidays. There was one that your dad had from his brother, Uncle Aaron, who your parents were not on good terms with, and then one that your mother and father would always dance to.
I might have picked that one.
So
What did you
I picked two of them. The first one I did was I did. I played the
New
game, and then I did a new game plus, and
Gotcha.
I got far enough to where I did that. The first one I picked was just the generic Christmas one, and your mother was like, "Oh, it's a good choice. It puts us in the mood or something." And then on the second one, I picked the Uncle Aaron choice, and I think Rio, your mother, said like, "Oh," and you could tell in her voice she was like not really happy with that pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you pick the one with the one with Uncle Aaron, she has like a different vocal reaction to that choice, but I don't know what the other one is with the dad. But I thought it was interesting. They tried giving you like a little bit of an RPG, like.
So are you saying that you wish the game had more choices that you could make?
I'm not saying I wish it did or didn't. I'm just saying I thought it was interesting that they had one at all.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, just that it existed. It could have been just like because they could have easily said, "Here's the collection of records," and the first one was just like, "Oh, this is the Christmas one we all used to listen to," and then they moved on.
Yeah.
Right? They could have easily they would have saved like time in like coding and dialogue and all that if they just hand waved it because it was such a small thing.
This is the first version of Spider-Man that I felt more connected with as far as like, I mean, all of Spider-Man that I think I've seen has been as an adult anyway, but I feel like this is the first iteration of Spider-Man where I could like really kind of feel the struggles of being like a person, or a human being a kid, while also balancing trying to be some kind of superhero. Like how his mom would call him and he's like lying to his mom and his mom's like, dude, I know, like, I know you're lying to me. And I don't know, I felt like they did a good job with kind of fleshing out all of the extra characters in this game.
Right.
And really making you feel like you're in the shoes of Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
So yeah. You got anything else you want to add, boy?
I don't think so. I think we had a really beefy discussion on this one.
Yeah, I can't believe we had so much to say. I'm hungry.
Oh yeah, it is lunchtime now, so that's good. It's a good thing that Craig records to like 6 hours.
It is good. This was a long. Well, we had the Christmas discussion too,
Yeah.
and stuff. So Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, man. Merry Christmas to all the listeners. There are a couple housekeeping things we need to do before we sign off and let everybody get back to their Christmas day.
And I know you're fucking shunning your family to listen to this, so we thank you for that.
So we did want to call out, we've been doing a lot of work on the podcast and trying to be interactive on our different social medias and all that. So just to give you guys an update, we do have a link tree, linktr.ee/321backlog. You can find wherever we are. It's a little easier than giving you all of the different areas we're at. We have a Patreon that's out there. So we are 321 Backlog on Patreon. We do extended cuts of these episodes. Well, we started a couple of them ago, so not all of them are on there, but there are a good handful of them on there now. This one will have been available last week, so you get it a week early. And we're going to start adding a couple extra bonus content things on there. More to come in 2024. But just keep an eye out. It's $1 a month, and you get about an average of 20 minutes of extra content. Usually just the extra banter stuff that we had to, cut for time and little random rants we went on. But nonetheless, a good, fun, lighthearted discussion on some other things. So
if you like hearing us talk,
yeah, exactly.
If you like hearing the bullshit that we talk about, that's not just games. If you do enjoy that, get in there.
Other than that, we do need to talk about two things. I just keep adding things to your list.
Yeah.
We have one, our next episode, but also our next game, and they are different.
Yeah.
So our next episode, which I think I told you about this, I want to do a little recap of the year. So send off 2023. We'll talk about what we've played, kind of get some insight and just some back and forth about kind of the year 2023 we've had in gaming and in the podcast, and send off 2023 with a big old middle finger.
I'm ready to move on, dude.
And then our first new game of 2024 is up to James to tell us what it's going to be.
Wrap in, dude. We're going with Ori. No.
I
want to play.
Can I interrupt you for 1 second?
You never would do that.
I would never do that. I in the history of this podcast, I let you talk so much.
Yeah.
And I never interrupt you for some random wild tangent.
I'm really sorry.
I need you to be quiet now. Yeah. So no, Ori and Will of the Wisps is, at the time of recording, is on Game Pass, and my son has been playing it, and he loves it.
And he's playing it out of order.
And yeah,
son of mine, dude.
I had to talk to him. No, the first one wasn't on Game Pass. Well, I didn't look for it, but he is loving it, and he is very good at it.
I've heard it's a little
8
easier.
years old. Yeah.
Yeah, but dude, there you go, man. He is I'm not that good at math, dude. 1/4 your age.
I don't even. What?
Yeah, he's a quarter of your age, right?
What's 8 times 4?
32.
I am older than 32. Yeah, so I guess a quarter.
Well, I can't say he fifth of your age.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, do you want to know what the next game is going to be?
I do want to know what the next game is going to be.
I want to play Sea of Stars. We've never played a game like that on this podcast.
Yeah.
And it's a type of game that I used to really enjoy a lot, but this is a game that I watched before it came out. So yeah, I don't know. It's getting a lot of really good reviews. A lot of people are praising this game. It's an indie game. It's supposed to kind of be like a callback to Chrono Trigger and Super Mario RPG kind of combined. When I was a kid, this was a genre game that I would play a lot, and sometimes I enjoy playing games on this podcast that are like what I call like a good game to play before bed, and this kind of counts in that. And that you can, it's a kind of lower stakes, not super tough, and if you fall asleep, you wake up and you're still in a dialogue or like in the battle. You're not going to get, stomped into the ground by Rhino. So yeah,
that's
Sea of Stars.
exciting. All right,
It's
cool.
on Steam. It's on Nintendo Switch. Play along. It's going to be fucking good. Anybody can play it.
Nice. It'll be a good game for the new year. For the public release, that will be coming out, I don't know.
Sometime.
For our public release, that'll be on January 8th. But if you head over to patreon.com for $1 a month, you will get to listen to it on the first.
Early. Yeah.
On the first. I was going to say
Simple math
tomorrow.
right there.
I was going to say tomorrow, but that's when the end of the year recap comes up. So that won't.
Saved
that's
yourself,
fine.
man.
Yep. All right. Well, I think that's going to be it for us. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Thanks, guys.